So yesterday we looked at part 1 of the lesson was just kind of introducing rotations and how they work in the coordinate plane. Today we're going to focus on actually rotating figures according to the instructions. You'll see more of that in a minute. But here's the key right here, what I have circled, and you have it written in your notes. So this is where you should be in your notes. All right, and I'm going to give you, first of all, before we do that, I want to point out, what do you see that's similar about all three of these rotations on the first ordered pair? What do you see?
They're all the same.
They're all the same. Here's what that means. That stands for the original ordered pair. They might not both be positive, okay? But what it means is this is how the rotated ordered pair relates to the first one. What do you see about the second ordered pair as it relates to the first one on the counterclockwise 90? How did they change? From the original to the new, how did they change? The X and Y switched, and what do you notice about the signs? Y is the opposite, okay? So what people are getting confused is they see the Y negative, so they think that that means that Y is negative automatically. That's not what this means. This means that whatever sign your Y was in the original ordered pair, it is now going to be the opposite sign in the rotated ordered pair. This is what I mean by that, okay? I'm about to show you. All right, write down the ordered pair 3, 2. Okay, we're going to rotate this. And guys, I could go counterclockwise 90 or clockwise 270, and it's going to be the same ordered pair. Because remember, they meet and they're the same point. We just talked about that. Okay, so for 3, 2, what does it say to do to this ordered pair to go from the original to the new? What do I need to do? Flip the X and the Y. So now it's, oh my goodness. Now it's 2, 3. Okay, I just gave that away. Sorry about that. Now it's 2, 3, except now, which value needs to be opposite? The Y value. So I switched the Y, and now I make it the opposite sign. Okay, so what it's saying is, if I'm rotating in this direction, I flip my X and my Y, and I make the Y value the opposite sign. You have to know how to read these, guys, in order for the notes that I'm giving you to use on your quiz and your test, for them to make any sense at all. It's going to look like this right here on the screen. If you don't know what that means, the notes aren't going to help you, okay? So that's what I'm trying to show you today. All right, so for 180, and this is the one that we did yesterday, what do you think it's telling you? Between going from X, Y to now, if it's a 180-degree turn, it's negative X, negative Y. What is that? What does it mean? Okay? That it's going to be the opposite sign. Whatever the original ordered pair was, if it was negative, now it's positive. If it was positive, now it's negative. That's what this translation right here is showing us. Okay, so let's do 4, 4. If it's a 180-degree rotation, again, clockwise or counterclockwise doesn't matter. Okay, 180 degrees says whatever my X was, now it's the opposite, and whatever my Y was, now it's the opposite in the same order. So, can anybody raise their hand and tell me what would be my new rotated ordered pair? Caleb? Negative 4, negative 4. Once you understand this, guys, it's just going to click, and you're going to be able to do these all day long. Okay? Now, I don't know how many times you'll need to see these concepts in order for you to get to that point. Some people it's 2, some people it's 3, some people it's 5, or even more times to see a new concept like this and really understand it. Okay? That's why the YouTube video is so important. Just watch as many times as you need to. All right? Let's look at the third one. I go from XY, which is my original ordered pair. What am I doing to XY in order to rotate it counterclockwise 270 or clockwise 90? What am I doing to it? What am I doing to my X and my Y? I flip it, and which one is the opposite now? The X value is going to be the opposite. So here's your ordered pair. Negative 1, 5. I want you to rotate it counterclockwise 270 or clockwise 90. All right, who has it? Who has the answer? I'm hoping to see a lot of hands go up. All right, anybody have the answer? Robbie? Let's see. That wait, hold on. I do switch it. So I switch the 5 and the 1, except now I need to make my X the opposite sign. Do you see that? So X, whatever it was here, needs to be the opposite in the second ordered pair. So it is 5, 1, but it's 5, positive 1, because I do the opposite sign. So that's a very common mistake I see. I see, oh, well, X is supposed to be negative. That's not what it's saying. It's saying whatever X was in the first one, it's now the opposite sign in the second one. All right? Are you seeing that? That does not mean X is supposed to be negative. All right? It means it's going to be the opposite sign. All right, here's how it looks in figures. You're going to have these types of figures on your review sheet that I'm giving tomorrow, on your quiz, and on your test. This is how rotations look. Okay? You're going to rotate these ordered pairs 180 degrees about the origin. It will always give you this clue right here. This clue tells you how X and Y are going to change in the rotated figure. Again, that key that you made in the last slide is very, very important for you to understand how these ordered pairs are going to change. So you have point J. All right, look back in your notes. If I'm rotating this ordered pair 180 degrees, what happens to my X and my Y? Do I switch them? Do I keep them in the same order and do opposite signs? What am I going to do if I'm rotating 180 degrees? Does anybody know? Use your key. Use your key. All right, we're just trying to answer J. Kendall, what do you think? Switch the sign, so what's my new ordered pair going to be? 4, 4. Okay? Because according to the 180 degree turn, whatever X was, now it's the opposite. And whatever Y was in the original, now it's the opposite sign. So I'm doing the exact opposite signs when I rotate 180. Guys, that never changes. On your quiz, if I say rotate at 180, you know whatever the ordered pair was, you keep it in the same order and do the opposite signs. All right, go ahead and rotate K, L, and M. Go ahead and rotate those ordered pairs 180. So again, on a 180 turn, I don't rearrange the order. I keep them in the same order, but I do the opposite sign. You say, how do I remember that? Well, that's just something that you do have to know, which is why I'm going to let you use your notes on your quiz and your test. Okay, but you still have to understand how to read it. Okay? All right, so for L, what's L going to be? Somebody tell me, Jeremiah? 1 and 0. You do the opposite of both, but the opposite of 0 is still just 0. All right, anybody know M? What's M going to be, Jakari? 2, 3. You do the opposite sign. You don't reverse them, just do the opposite sign. All right, look at the second one. Rotate P. All right, and here's my instructions. 90 degrees counterclockwise. So now go back to your key. If you're going 90 degrees counterclockwise from your original ordered pair to your new ordered pair, what's happening to X and Y? Okay, so you answer that, and then I want you to rotate P. Okay? I want you to rotate P. I'm going to ask you for your answer in just a minute. Milani, what'd you put?
I said -2,
Okay, because I know if I'm going 90 degrees counterclockwise, I go from my original ordered pair, X, Y, I flip them, and I do the opposite of Y. That's what this means right here. Whatever Y was, now I do the opposite of Y, and it comes first. So since my Y was 2, when I flip it, I'm going to make it negative. I do the opposite sign. If it was negative, now it's positive. I just do the opposite sign. All right, go ahead and do Q and R. All right, go ahead and do Q and R. I'm going to walk around and check. All right, so again, I flip X and Y, so I have 1, 6. But wait, why did I make 1 negative? 1 was positive. Why did I make it negative? Because my key says that Y is going to be the opposite. That's what that negative means. All right, what's R going to be? Someone raise your hand and tell me. Jeremiah? Okay, so because 5 was negative, and my key says to do the opposite, now it's positive 5, but I do not change the sign of my X. My X is still the same. I flip them and I do the opposite of Y when I'm rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay? Y'all ready for your disappointing news? You don't have any graphs on your homework tonight. What? Who likes graphing? Raise your hand if you like graphing. Okay. All right. Fair enough. You think it's easier? Who said it's easier? Bailey, did you say it was easier? Graphing? Oh, okay. Well, good news. There's graphing on your review sheet and on your quiz and test. Okay? But here's the thing, though. Especially with rotations, you have to figure out your ordered pairs before you can rotate it. Okay? Rotating it simply based on the graph is very, very difficult. That's more like high school level math. Okay? So we're going to figure out the ordered pairs before we graph. And you actually don't have to graph on your homework. You will be graphing on your review sheet for the rotations, but it's really easy. You've got your ordered pairs here and your ordered pairs here, and you just connect the points. Okay? But if it's okay with you guys, I want to look at some problems that will be very similar to homework. All right, so here's number 7. Again, you're doing 6 and 8, okay? But this is what 6 and 8 are going to look like. They give you the same, actually the same original ordered pair, 2, 7. It's in the instructions on page 60, okay? It says your original point, point A, is 2, 7. So how does, I'm doing number 7, point negative, I wrote that wrong. Hold on, I wrote it wrong. How does point negative 7 to relate, what is the relationship between the second point to the first point? What is happening, okay? So which rotation can I eliminate right off the bat? Which rotation can I eliminate? I know for sure that it's not which rotation? Tati? 180, because they're reversed. Okay, so I know for sure it's 90 or 270, but I have to also figure out direction. So here's what tells me which sign is reversed. From the original to the new, which sign is reversed? The Y value. So go back to your key. Which rotation says that you do the opposite sign of Y, that you flip them and do the opposite sign of Y? Yes, Chloe. Well, that's what I was thinking, and then I don't know, I guess I just wrote it wrong. No, on 7, it says negative 7, 2. No, I didn't. C, negative 7, 2. A is 2, 7, and C is negative 7, 2. Do you see now? You're confusing me. I'm like looking at it unless my eyes are playing tricks on me. Did I do that right? 7? Okay. All right, number 9. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Number 9, is it a rotation? Is it a rotation on number 9? Okay, I hear a no. Do you guys agree, disagree, no, yes? What do you think? What do you agree? What do you think? Who says no? No, it is not a rotation. What is it? It is a translation. So that's going to be on your test, quiz, review sheet, okay? You've got to be able to identify, is it a translation, reflection, or a rotation? Well, number 11 looks a little different. Why? Because it's not a side-by-side or an up and down type of transformation. It's not a dilation. Okay, I heard it's a reflection. Why do you think reflection? Because it flipped, right? Okay. but it also, can I turn it to make the blue figure? From the red figure to the blue figure, could I rotate it to make the blue figure? So technically it is a rotation of how many degrees? 180. But if I rotated it, I also technically translated it and or reflected it. Do you see all of those connections? It can be. It can be multiple transformations in one. And it is, guys. All right? It is. It's a rotation of 180 and a translation, or you could say it's a reflection in a translation. All right? But as long as you identify, for this, in this case, because it's a lesson on rotations, you would say rotate 180. And remember, when I rotate 180, it's clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. All right, so 180 degree rotation. All right, number 13. It's really important that we practice one more of these together. All right, look at number 13. This is 14, 16, and 18. All right, so this is just like those, except you're just rotating them different directions. I need you to write down these 4 ordered pairs. This is number 13 on page 61. What is my rotation? What is my rotation? What does it tell me on 13? I'm going where? Which way? 90 degrees, which way? Counterclockwise. So now go back to your key. 90 degrees counterclockwise tells me, and I'm going to write it down, and it's not a bad idea for you to write it down. Here's my original, and what happens to my ordered pair when I go 90 degrees counterclockwise? Sam?
The X and Y foot and then the Y.
Do you agree?
No. It's just gone.
It does. That's why we put a negative Y right there. Okay, do you agree? You should. Okay, that you flip X and Y and you do the opposite of Y. Okay, so now that's what the negative means in the second ordered pair, that you're doing the opposite. So now on point A, what's going to be your ordered pair? What's going to be your ordered pair on point A? Samuel? 2, 2. You do not change the value of X. You only change, I thought I had written that. You only change Y. Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead and do B, C, and D. Okay, so D was supposed to be -4 in the book. All right, sorry about that, guys. So yes, you are correct. All right, so we're gonna make 4 negative. All right, now let's go ahead and reverse them. So what's B going to be? Nolan, what did you put for B? The opposite of Y and then X, and you switch them. All right, what about C? Anybody have C? Okay, anybody have C? Aaliyah, do you have it on C? Yes, do the opposite of Y and then X, 3, 4. And then D, I'm going to need to change what I have for mine. Now that I wrote the correct sign, what's D going to be? Anybody have D? William, what did you put for D?
I put 4, 2.
4, 2. And then I need to take off my negative. It's 4, 2. All right, guys. All right, so if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for section 2.3. Your quiz will be on Monday and test on Wednesday. In the meantime, lots and lots of review.